Many people suffer from physical or psychological ailments for years without understanding why it happened to them, trying all kinds of therapeutic methods that provide temporary relief but do not heal them permanently. Which led me to ask myself the following question: what is the real cause of illness and pain in the body? What makes some people recover quickly while others remain stuck for years in the same situation? But first, let me introduce myself. My name is Lucian, and I am the founder of the Vital Alchemy Energy Therapy School. Over the last few years, I have helped thousands of people heal ailments in every part of the body and areas of health through energy therapy. Like Maria, who came to us with a degenerative disease with no prognosis for recovery, which was going to leave her without mobility in her arms in less than 2 years. Maria, thanks to applying the Vital Alchemy method, has not only managed to heal completely, but today she dedicates herself to giving her therapies and helping other people. We also have cases like Natalia's, who came to us with severe depression, which she had tried to heal with many different methods without achieving results. And likewise, thanks to applying the Vital Alchemy method, today Natalia has completely recovered her mental health. But this is not about them, it is about you. That is why, in the description of this video, you will find a link to schedule a completely free consultation with an expert from my team who will analyze your specific case and offer you a training plan adapted to your needs so that you can learn to heal yourself or others depending on your interests. And now, let us continue. This is the roadmap for today's class. In the first stage, I will guide you to discover the real root, the true cause of any ailment, whether physical or psychological. In the second, we will do a practice so you can verify it with your own hands. And in the third, we will integrate everything learned so it truly produces transformation. So, let's begin. The first and most important thing we must understand to heal an imbalance, even those that persist over time, is that we have an energy body, apart from a physical body, which contains the energy of our physical body, the energy of our emotions, and even our thoughts, that is, our mind. What does this mean? Well, it basically means that before anything happens in our body, before we experience any kind of emotion or thought, it must have happened in our energy field. Because the energy field, the things that happen in the energy field, precede those that will happen in the physical body and in general in material reality. So what I am telling you sounds very spiritual, it sounds very esoteric, but it is something that has been verified with GDB technology and Kirlian cameras, so it is of the utmost importance that you understand that these are not just ideas, but concepts that have been empirically proven. Let's continue. So, as I was saying, our physical body, besides having the entire structure of bones, muscles, and physical organs, has an energy structure that accompanies it. In other words, we eventually have to stop separating the physical and energy concepts in some ways. Why do I tell you this? Because in the end, energy and physical matter are constantly collaborating. They constantly collaborate, meaning one cannot exist without the other. This helps us understand why some people suffering from muscle pain, organ diseases, well, all the diseases you can imagine, actually have a direct correlation with the energy of their muscles, organs, and bones. And that is exactly what we are going to learn to explore today. How is, for example, the energy of a muscle in our body? How is the energy of our head? How is the energy of an organ? You yourself will be able to explore exactly the part of your body that you want, because we can do it. Even the ones inside. Don't be scared, but you will even be able to explore parts that are inside your body. So, we are also going to do a brief summary and gain an understanding of why these parts of our body get blocked. Well, if you are watching this, you probably already know that besides an energy body, we have chakras, which are energy centers through which energy enters and leaves our body, and they are fundamental to truly having good health in the different areas of our body and our psychology. Ultimately, our energy field is not a stone that stays still, but rather it absorbs energy from the environment and also expels energy, let's say, like us, when we breathe, right, we inhale and exhale. And it is a process that our energy field also constantly performs on an energetic level. It is constantly interacting with its environment. So, here I have left you some of the things that actually cause the energy field or some parts of the energy body to become blocked. One is having a certain tendency toward negative thoughts and emotions, that is, letting ourselves be carried away by them makes them grow, or even creating them unconsciously at times, or feeding back into certain types of emotions. For instance, some people really like to dwell on that melancholy and then don't understand why they are sad. Evidently, there are certain emotions that can even be considered negative, which can even generate a certain pleasure. And we must understand that if we let ourselves go, if we feed certain types of mental or emotional energies, that will harm our energy field because we create those energies within it. Then, other things that really unbalance the energy field, and in general our body, mind, and emotions, are traumas and unresolved conflicts. That is more than evident, but there is actually a measurable way to see it. Often, when you look at it from the psychological realm, psychology for example, a person's mind seems like something abstract, ambiguous, and that is inside the brain. But really, when you enter the world of energy therapy and understand that all those traumas, those conflicts, have their own associated energy blockage, and that it is truly measurable how much energy is associated with a trauma, how much energy with a conflict, a repetitive pattern, a fear, an anxiety. All of that can be measured and can actually be released in a measurable way too. So obviously I am not telling you anything new, but negative habits and environments also negatively affect our energy. If we are in negative environments, our energy field will gradually wear down until we reach a state of exhaustion, or start feeling bad about ourselves, or begin to somatize things in our body. And negative habits, such as the consumption of tobacco, alcohol, or some type of substance, even negative habits like procrastination, not exercising, not moving, not getting sun, things like that, also cause our energy field to wear down. And finally, we could talk about energy attacks, which could also have a bit to do with negative environments, right? People who somehow program you negatively, who somehow do not respect you, who are disrespectful toward you. And the question here would also be how you receive all of that, right? Whether you know how to manage it, whether you distance yourself from those people. But clearly when we think negative things about ourselves, or when other people project negativity toward us, imbalances are also generated in our energy field. Obviously, it all depends on the severity. It is not the same if someone makes a slightly passive-aggressive comment to you, which, well, was not that big of a deal, as someone who directly insults you or attacks you with a lot of anger, right? Those would be two completely different things. But above all, to take responsibility, what I would look at more in depth is the whole issue of negative internal patterns, negative thoughts, negative emotions, traumas, unresolved conflicts, and so on. Let's continue. So, how can a physical or psychological ailment be healed through energy therapy? Basically, as I was telling you, energy governs the body's processes, both of our physical body and of our emotions and our mind. An energy body that is blocked will tend to cause certain parts of our physical body to become blocked. For example, sadness or guilt is an emotion that usually accumulates in the back area and the rear heart chakra, which are directly connected. Then, other areas, right, like the knees. The knees have their own energy centers that, when blocked, obviously end up causing the knees to degrade. And that is also why there are so many people with knee problems. If people knew how to treat the chakras in their knees, they could make their knees hurt less every day instead of hurting more. And it is not just an idea. We have success stories, many success stories. I think it is the most recurring one, people with knee problems who have managed to heal them completely and go back to running and leading a completely normal life. So, contaminated energy programs the body for pain and illness, and conversely, healthy energy for health and well-being. It is as simple as that. As I was saying, energy is information. It is information that programs our body, which in a way makes it function one way or another. Low vibration energy, energy blockages, accumulated fears, are energy in our energy field. And that will cause certain conflicts to actually appear in our lives, but even in our body, certain energies accumulate that will make a person tend toward illness to the point of being able to make a person sick, right? And that is seen very clearly. So, when a person has blocked energy in a part of the body, in some energy center or similar, which we all have at some point or another, it usually causes well, inevitably pains and illnesses to end up being generated, which sometimes some people even interpret as chronic. But really, when you release an energy blockage in an area, you make the body regenerate instead of degenerate. And I have seen it in all kinds of cases, with all kinds of illnesses, which this platform does not let me mention. So you can get an idea of what I am talking about. Now we are going to do an exercise where we explore the energy in any part of our body. What does that mean? Basically, you will be able to explore the energy of your head, your knees, or whatever you absolutely want. First, we will do a practice that I will guide you through, and then you will be able to decide exactly which part of your body you want to explore. How are we going to do it? We are going to use a technique called the projection technique, which will help us to carry out the exploration process well. Basically, it consists of using the power of our mind, and this is real, obviously. If you trust me and open yourself up to experiencing it, you will be able to feel it. It is real. You will be able to access the energy of any part of your body. Your fingers do need to be together to touch, but you do not need that to access and explore the energy of any part of your body. You can access energy even if something is thousands of kilometers away. And that is one of the best things about energy therapy for me. You can even perform healings on people who are thousands of kilometers away and help them. So a very important warning, because I am opening this to the public and I really have to be responsible. And the first thing I want to tell you is that I do not recommend, I do not want to say I forbid it, but I strongly recommend that you do not add or remove anything from the practice we are going to do now. Modifying energy techniques or doing energy work without knowledge can be dangerous, truly dangerous. So do not do anything strange, do not go off script, really. Now you have my guidance, I will lead you step by step. Do not do things that are not part of the class, because truly, if you start doing strange things, you could harm your body, and that is not something I want for you. I have warned you. Now, if you want to do strange things, believe you are enlightened or things like that, I leave it in your hands, your responsibility. I will not be held responsible if someone does strange things with the things I share. I do not recommend using this technique by mixing it with others or doing things you think up, because there is actually a logic behind energy therapy that is not as intuitive as many people believe. Rather, it has a step-by-step process that must be broken down to be truly understood, and now we are going to start learning. So really, do not add or remove anything from the technique we are going to use now, and if you do, face the consequences. Secondly, it is not permitted to use it on other people without their consent. When we perform any type of action involving energy therapy or similar, we can never explore or perform energy therapy on another person who has not given us their consent. If you are going to do it, do not do it. If that was the intention with which you entered this video, do not do it, do not do it. And finally, when performing this practice, stay in a neutral state without influencing the body part. As I was telling you, I will guide you step by step so you can do everything right, but do not do things that are not part of the plan. And that simply means that when you explore, and that will help you make a more accurate exploration, you just do that. Explore what we are going to do now without trying to influence. Because if we try to influence or do strange things, first, it is dangerous, and second, the diagnosis or the exploration would not be clear. So, once that is understood, let's get to the practice. Before starting, it is very important that you find a quiet place to connect with yourself and eliminate all kinds of distractions. Really, if you do this energy practice without being connected, or if you do it haphazardly while getting distracted, it is most likely that you will not feel anything and will not be able to benefit from this practice at all. So I recommend you let go of any distractions and let's begin today's session. Before we start, we are going to do a short meditation to activate the chakras in our hands, which are basically two energy centers that will help us feel the energy. We will also activate the heart chakra a bit, along with other centers that will positively contribute to amplifying our ability to feel, so we can then perform this exploration correctly. So, without further ado, let us begin. At this moment, I invite you to close your eyes and take a few deep breaths. feeling how you inhale through your nose and how you exhale through your mouth fluidly. Very well. Little by little, I invite you to bring your awareness around your body, looking at yourself with much love, starting with the soles of your feet, the rest of the feet, and you move your awareness up through your legs with much love. Up to your knees. Keep moving up your upper legs to your hips and glutes, looking at your legs with much love. Keep moving up through your torso, your back, and your belly. The chest, the shoulders, the upper back, the arms, hands, and finally the head. We bring our attention to our head. We set a loving intention. We look at our body with much love. So now I invite you to bring your attention to the center of your chest and set the intention to smile from the center of your chest. It is a somewhat abstract feeling, but as if you were placing a very loving intention in the center of your chest. You can even visualize how, or feel, imagine a loving white light in the center of your chest. And smile, feeling how that loving white energy from the center of your chest is filling your whole body with so much love. Maybe. I want you to visualize how that light from the center of your chest moves toward the palms of your hands. And now I invite you to bring your full attention to the palms of your hands. Both the physical and the energetic part. What does that mean? That I invite you to bring your attention as if you were also bringing your attention to the part surrounding the palms of your hands, as if you were bringing your attention about 5 or 10 centimeters around the palm of your hand as well. And the same, you can start by visualizing a very loving bright light there. And now the next step would be, when you inhale, to feel how you inhale energy through the palm of your hand. And when you exhale, feel as if the palms of your hands were exhaling energy. And that you breathe through them. feeling how with each inhalation you inhale energy through the palms of your hands, and with each exhalation, how you exhale it. Very well. Now, before we begin, I invite you to place your hands parallel to each other. Set your intention, bring your hands closer together, and set the intention to feel the energy. Simply observe what happens when you bring both hands together. If you notice warmth, like two magnets repelling each other, or a tingling sensation, what sensations do you identify? Very well, take your time, and if you need to pause the video and keep breathing with your hands, that is fine, because this helps activate the chakras in your hands. And it is a process that the more you do it, the more clearly you will be able to feel the energy. So once we have activated the chakras in our hands, we will begin today's practice. And the first thing we are going to do is project ahead, our own head in this case. How is this done? Well, I want you to visualize, feel, or intend to project it as if you were projecting a hologram of your head in front of you. Project it with clarity, with clarity. I truly invite you to eliminate any kind of doubt. And once you have that clarity that you have just projected it, you can do it through the power of intention, visualization, whatever works best for you. I invite you, for example, to slowly bring your hand toward the face area, very delicately, and feel. You can touch the head area as well. And the different yes, of the head. Remember, we do this with neutrality, and let's see what perceptions arise. If this is your first time doing this practice, you might feel a bit of difficulty. It is totally normal. But now, in any case, I will leave a minute for you to do this practice on your own. I am going to pause the video and I will see you in a minute to do the second practice. Very well, I hope you were able to successfully practice exploring the energy in your head. As I told you before, if it is your first time doing this, it is normal to have some difficulty feeling the energy, even knowing that now, although we have done the projection technique and projected it forward, you could also explore your head directly, right? In the case of the head, it is simple because it is indeed in an external part. So if you had difficulty using the projection technique, which is a technique that can be a bit more difficult, you can bring your hands closer to your head and do that exploration process on your head. Okay, having said that, let's move on to the next practice. Now we are going to explore an internal part of the body. We will do it with our calves, which are, after all, quite a strong muscle. I do not recommend that you use this to explore your brain, your physical heart, or your eyes right now, because that really requires a bit more depth and experience. Today we are doing the exercise for the first time, and those organs are actually quite sensitive, so I recommend you explore others instead, and always do it from a place of neutrality. So we are going to project our right or left calf, which are the muscles located in the lower part of the knee, from the knee to the foot, and we will proceed. Now we are going to project one of our calves and repeat the process. We are going to bring our hand closer with the intention of exploring it. You can see I feel exactly the same when exploring my head or when exploring the dust. They tend to contain slightly different energies, because obviously the energy of a part that supports our body, like our calves, is not the same as our head, which is much more dedicated to mental processes. In any case, now it is your turn. I invite you to project your right or left calf, and then we will see each other for the next part of the practice. Very well, I hope you were able to do it very successfully. I am sure you were. And if not, don't worry. You can keep practicing with any of my free videos or redo this video until you truly feel the energy more clearly each time. It is very important when we do these types of practices that you don't get too caught up in doubt, fear, or a lack of confidence in yourself, because that could really block your progress. When we work at an energetic level, clarity is fundamental. Why do I tell you this? Because in the end, if we do things with fear, doubt, or too many thoughts, those thoughts somehow destabilize what we are trying to connect with and make it harder for us to feel the energy and so on. That is why it is also very important to maintain a state of neutrality and not speak to yourself in a negative way when doing these practices, but rather focus 100%. Very well, once we have performed these practices, I invite you, if you want to explore any particular part of your body, to go ahead and do so. If you want to project your stomach, you can project your stomach. If you want to explore your glutes, you can explore your glutes. So that is what I invite you to do. I will leave you one more minute to explore the part of your body that you feel like, and we will see each other later for the third stage. let me know in the comments how you experienced this practice, if you were really able to feel the energy of your muscles and organs well, or if you had any difficulty. Remember, do not give up, keep learning, and you will get closer and closer to truly learning how to heal any ailment with energy. But first, obviously, you must develop the ability to feel it and understand some key parameters. So if you would like to keep learning energy therapy and achieve results like thousands of people already have in every part of their body and areas of health, I invite you to truly learn more in depth about my energy therapy school, Alquimia Vital. How can you do that? Well, basically, as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, in the link in the description, you can schedule a completely free consultation with an expert from my team who will analyze your particular case and create a training plan adapted to your needs, so that whether you want to heal yourself of some physical or psychological ailment, or help a loved one, or even if you are a therapist, and you want to bring this into your sessions, we can truly create a training plan adapted to your needs. I send you a big hug. I hope you really enjoyed today's session, and if you truly want to transform your life, we look forward to seeing you at Alquimia Vital. I send you a hug,